waiting on someone and you aren't him. Do you mind?
Good to be back behind the walls, have to say. For as long as that lasts. Don't make me urgent, boy.
Too late! Looking at you!
If it ain't the fearless Goblin Slayer, you sure you want to be seen with me? I ain't exactly popular with this lot. Aye. His name's Halsin. And if he's still alive, he'll be cursing the day he laid eyes on me. We've got a contract to track down some relic, and he wanted in on the job. Eyes lit up when he heard about it. Didn't work out, though. Goblins got him when we were turning tail. He's either digging latrines or boiling in a cookpot by now. Wasn't no few goblins, mate. There's an entire hive of them. Contract failed to mention that part. Job's all yours, if you got a death wish. There's a wizard in Baldur's Gate that'll pay gobloads for a relic supposedly buried round these parts. But gold ain't any use if you're too cold to spend it. It's called the Night Song. Supposed to be hidden under the temple where the goblins jumped us. I'd give you the map and wish you a happy funeral, but my mate Brian kept hold of it like his own todger. Goblins made sure to the fat old chunk. All I've got's the contract. It'll show you where we turn back, if you feel like dying. Don't thank me. I'll be well on my way to Baldur's Gate when you die. Yeah, right.
And we'll have a dog, right?
They don't allow them in Baldur's Gate. Cats, though?
A little orange cat. And a house with a little door so that it can come and go as it pleases.
And a high fence to keep eavesdroppers out. Thanks. I suppose we'll all need it.
What about you? Big plans for when you get to the city?
We've had enough rough to last us a good long while.
Good luck to you then. You're the one who helped at the gate.
Eltergard. A lot of territory to cover before Baldur's Gate. And any cure found there.
Gnolls and goblins marked on the map. Travel won't be easy.
I heard what happened. Thank you for protecting the child. If the druids are this far gone, then it's not just goblins we have to fear. So we can risk violence here, or face it for certain on the road. Quite the choice, isn't it? It's good of you to offer, but we'd need an army of our own to escort us safely to Baldur's Gate. And while I don't doubt your abilities, there may be a way, though. Goblins are ill-disciplined. Somebody must be leading them, bringing discipline to their ranks. Take out that leadership, and they'll scatter. It's no small thing to ask, but I've seen you fight. You're equal to the task. I suppose so. We don't have much, of course. We'll be ready to leave as soon as you get...
No, sir. But if there's a clear path past those goblins, they'll find it.
Yes, of course.
Tempers are rising. It's clear not everything you find is at your disposal.
Please, have mercy.
I'll talk to the guards at Baldur's Gate. They speak their language. You sound like...
Damn goblins! Like the sight of blood, do you? Thought you'd have had your fill at the gate. Might be more blood spilled yet, if Zevlor starts in on the lectures again. And what about our people? Even the new lad, his first contract, and we land him in a goddamn goblin nest. He actually stood and fought, the stupid bastard. Like I never trained him better. These weren't no normal goblins. And Liam weren't no friend, all right? Just another raw recruit, thought he was in some storybook.
Don't you lie to me, boy. I know you have it.
Touch me and I'll bite your big... Wound looks clean. Small mercies. Shoes. Where are my boots? Doesn't taste half bad.
You! Saw you fighting those slimy bastards. Fancy a bowl? Best to fill your belly now, while we still can. Food. You want it or not? Look, it ain't much. The only way we'll make it to Baldur's Gate is if a not...
How stupid are you?
Why, hello there, sweetness. Ah, if it isn't the talk of the camp. Thank goodness you came along when you... Oh. There isn't a bit of colour in those cheeks, Petal. Are you hurt? Cold? Feverish? Auntie Ethel will sort you out. I've lotions and potions galore. Oh, nothing as fancy. But I come from a long line of women with a dab hand at such things. Aha! You take a sup at that and you'll feel right as rain, sweetie. Oh, 'tis just a healing potion, nothing fancy. Here. You just look like you might need a pick-me-up. I'm sorry to go on about it, but are you all right? You're looking awful peaky. Oh, stop! Even on a good day, half the camp acts like a bunch of screaming brats. I'm tempted to smack them all on the backside and tell them to kiss and make up. Not that they'd listen to little old me. Anyway, do you need anything? I have a few odds and ends for sale. Hey, bother. care now, sweetie.
Trader appears encouraged by your interest in this item, though of course you'll need to pay for it. Trader has no problem with you inspecting these goods, so long as you're willing to pay for them.
Don't you lie to me, boy. I know you haven't.
Touch me and I'll bite your fingers off. I will!
Die if I met the Roican leaking of this place. Never get the smell out of my clothes.
This is ridiculous.
I'll talk to the guards at Balder's Gate.
Hell's taking me.
Oh, you thieves are all boring. Even your cages are boring. Ready to go meet my tribe? Just say the word. We're burning! The Absolute is gold from the sky. Happily. Lead the way.
Can't risk being in open view.
You say that like you're looking forward to it.
I could use the target practice.
Swing and swivel and wait. Wait.
Your rescue attempt has been noticed. Choose your next move carefully. You're persuasive enough. You and the goblin are free to go.
Bite your fingers off. I will!
Rescue attempt has been noticed. Choose your next move carefully. You are persuasive enough. You and the goblin are free to go. Your rescue attempt has been noticed. Choose your next move carefully. You are persuasive enough.
These tieflings prove fragile. I've a mind to end their misery myself.
Calm yourself. They're survivors, not soldiers.
I fail to see the distinction.
Thought I was never gonna get out of there. Good to be free again, gotta say. Never break a promise, unless there's something in it for me. I'll introduce you to my whole tribe and put in a good word for you. See you at the camp.
Tiring business, isn't it? All this traveling and adventuring. Why don't we take a little break, Allow ourselves a few moments of rest? Gives me a chance to talk to you about something, well, rather important. Putting two and two together, I see. We've been on the road together for a while now, haven't we? Survived some perils, overcame some obstacles. Ever since you were kind enough to free me from that stone, I've seen you demonstrate remarkable guile and courage. The way we diffused the tension between Zevlor and Aradin. The way you stood in front of a crossbow to prevent a murder. The way you got Korga to release the girl. The way you followed the protocol and brought me back to life. In short, I've grown to trust you. I was being quite sincere, I assure you. The reason I met... You see, I have this condition. Very different from the parasite we share, but just as deadly. No. It cannot be cured. And I assure you I've left no page unturned in reaching that conclusion. I can keep this condition under control, as indeed I've done for a significant amount of time, but that was under different circumstances altogether. Home, in Waterdeep. What it comes down to is this. Every so often, I need to get my hands on a powerful magical item and absorb the weave inside. I'll spare you the finer details, but it begins with a simple biological deterioration, muscle spasms, disorientation, a slight ringing in the ears, and, if left for too long, catastrophe. It's been days since I last consumed an artifact, since before we were abducted. It's only a matter of time before my craving returns. That is why I turn to you. I need you to help me find magic items to consume. It is vital. Dare I say it? Critical. A fair point. However, until recently, I was able to rely on a supply of artifacts stored in my tower in Waterdeep. A supply that has now run dry. The reality of the matter is that a lone wizard with a chronic impairment such as my own is not in the most ideal of situations with regards to self-defense. The manner of artifacts I need are not often found waiting patiently on a shopkeep's shelf. One usually has to lift them delicately from trap-filled tombs or prize them from the hands of violent ne'er-do-wells. There'll be danger involved, or great cost. Valid question. If not out of the simple goodness of your heart, then perhaps your own self-interest might be sufficient motivation. Having a wizard like me around is quite the boon when facing the perils that stalk these lands. It'd be far harder for me to assist you if I could barely stand upright. Please, trust me. Your help could be the difference between life and death.
You become one with Gale's mind, and you can feel something sinister oppressing you. It's inside of you, a mighty darkness radiating from your chest. You could try to push further, but your hold over Gale feels brittle. It won't be easy delving deeper without him noticing. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book, bound, and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And gods, is it ever hungry.
Keeping me in suspense, are you? Come on, tell me. Do we have an agreement or not? It's a simple question, isn't it? What gives you pause? Thank you. I see my trust. I'm sure we won't have to look very far to find what I need. Faerun overflows with magic-infused treasure. As do our packs, as a matter of fact. We've such an item already in our possession. Primed for the moment the need arises. I hope I can count on you.
Tingle runs through your head and down to your feet.
Ah, there it is. That shiver. Our little brainworms have made fast friends, it would seem. How do you feel? It's natural to suffer a touch of worry, but an illithid worm should be causing more than mild anxiety. Before the illithid's unscheduled surgery, I'd felled hundreds of beasts and a fair few fiends. The tadpoles weakened me, suppressed greater talents, but beyond that, I've showed no signs of turning. No nausea, no pain, not even a hot flash. Perhaps the worm's vat was poisoned. Perhaps we're uncommonly fit. Or perhaps the tadpoles are merely on holiday. We could conjecture all night. I suppose the why doesn't matter so much as the what next. And that answer is plain as the horns on a war devil's head. We get these things out. Let's get some rest. Dawn comes sooner than we think.
A fine evening, don't you think? The moonlight shines warmly on us. The breeze caresses our faces. Hideous. All of it. Would that I were doing battle up there, among the tears. Look above. Watch the moon cross the sky. The tears follow behind it. Rocky bodies tumbling through the sea of night. One of them is my crash. Clear. Do you think me so sheltered? My entire clutch battled beholders deep within the eye of the sky. We infiltrated a Nyogi spelljammer and laid waste to its crew. The tears span Toral's sky, Venisk. There is more to this realm than this grassy pebble. But enough of this. You are wasting your resting time. Come dawn, we resume our search for a creche.
You know, I've been thinking, reflecting on what tomorrow might bring. When we find the druid, will he know how to bring the worm under control? Will this little adventure of ours be over? Why not? You've been to the Hells and back, survived the crash, survived everything that's followed. I'm not easily impressed by people, but you're stronger than I gave you credit for. You have your charms, more than you think.
The smile on his pretty lips is a touch too composed, a bit too perfect. He may not mean a word he says.
A delicious thought, Baz. The right moment. I'm sorry. I need to clear my head. I'll see you later, I'm sure. Sleep tight.
The leader of the pack comes to chat. What's on your mind? You must be pleased to have a clear path forward. The sooner we find the druid house in, the better. I can't wait to get rid of this thing in my head. The same. These parasites are proving suspiciously benign. But suppose I turn. What would you do? Really? I'd just kill you. Anyway, get some rest. Try not to dream about tying me up.